Hello and welcome once again to FC Cymru, brought to you by Eat, Sleep, Footy, Repeat, and you join us in the wilds of Monmouthshire.
You do, at Penny Pound, the wonderful home of Abergavenny Town on a glorious day. They're playing Garden Village. It's 1-0 to the visitors. We'll have way more on this coming up.
Also, we've been out west. We've been to Mumbles Rangers. Well, I have anyway. I don't know what you were doing, but I was at Mumbles Rangers. We were finding out all about a club with a fantastic history, a great legacy, and how they are building for the future.
We also have coming up a love letter from Wales fans to a West Wales legend, Ben Davies.
Also, that's a slightly different climate, in fact, an entirely different country. While in Bosnia, Mr. Lawrence wondered to himself, what is it that a Wales Under-21 physio actually does? So he asked.
Obviously, fit young men, they don't need massage, they don't need looking after, except Jack down here does. So Dave's a therapist for the under-21s. What's the big thing then about when you're travelling away from home? Because obviously you've got to bring all your kit with you and what have you. It must be a bit of a logistical
There's a fair
nightmare.
bit of kit. Obviously the physios and doctors have got a bit more kit than I have. A pot of wax, a few towels and a few magic tricks and tools helps. But we all act as a team, help each other out and carry and hump things around as much as we can.
Yeah. And I guess you've got to kind of work in whatever you've got, right? I mean, we've got quite a nice room here. Actually,
Yeah, we usually set up in a hotel suite, hotel room. Some are better than others, and but we try and set up 2, maybe 3 beds depending on need. And the FAW organisation staff are really good in giving us a fair amount of space to work in. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's pretty cramped, but we haven't been anywhere yet where we can't work or find a way to work.
And why is it important?
It's important for player recovery and preparation. Obviously they train pretty intensively with their clubs, a lot of games, and at the beginning of the week they'll train quite intensely with Peter Sharp, the fitness coach, and Rob, manager. So we need to help them recover from those training sessions to go again the next day, and then ultimately be fit and healthy and fresh to play the game on the end of the week.
So how does your job differ to Dave's?
I'm the physio, so there's quite a lot of different aspects to it. Obviously, just like Dave, the most important thing is making sure that the players are as fit as possible. So we'll assess injuries along with the doctor and make sure that we get that diagnosis right. If we assess somebody and we think they've got no chance of being fit for the match, we'll send them back to their clubs. Most of the lads fortunately come to us with a chance of playing. Aaron here, he's 99.9% fit really, so basically he'll be absolutely fine. We're just looking for that last 0.1 really to get him 100% for the match. So the role of the physio is assessing injuries, diagnosing them, managing the injuries, getting players as fit as we possibly can do. Sometimes there's a bit of strapping involved, so ankles, every part of the body can be strapped really, if needed. And then it's first aid on pitch side for training, in case any nasty injuries or injuries occur during training. And then first aid for the match day, so running onto the pitch and assessing injuries and managing them hopefully as appropriately as possible.
I guess you kind of you learn about their traits and what have you as well, don't you? Which is vital when you're treating the injuries and how much pain they can take and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. You know, the better you know your players, the better really. Some players, they complain about every little thing, and you need to know about that. Other players you never ever see. So if it's one of those players that you never ever see and they report something, you know that's going to be serious.
Are there players that come in here like just for treatment all the time? You kind of think, oh yeah,
Jack and Aaron are. To be fair, Jack's in a fair bit. We haven't seen too much of Aaron. Yeah. No, we don't want this to be an environment where players want to be coming in willy-nilly. You know, if they need treatment, we're here for them. But there's plenty of other things for them to do to keep themselves occupied when we're away.
Phil, you look like a man who has been around here long enough to take root.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I've probably been at the club now 45 years. Started here as a 17-year-old. 62 now, I know I don't look it, but there we go. Had to go with everything here. Played for the first team probably for about 13 years. Ran the second team. Ran Abergavenny Thursdays side when they went down into the lower leagues. So we've seen the rise and fall of the club going into the Welsh Premier, upgrading the ground, putting the lights on. A lot of work, a lot of excitement. When you've seen the club at the dead times, when it was completely down and out, it's really good when you couldn't get anyone to come and do anything. So I'd end up sort of managing the side, going in, doing the bar, coming down, cleaning the club, wife and daughters cleaning the club, helping out. So when you come back, and you see this is great. This is what it's all about.
What's the dream? What's the vision? What's the plan?
I think that obviously the dream this year, we've taken over again as management, was to establish ourselves in this league. Next season will be to push on and see if we can get into the Welsh First Division. I don't know about going into the Welsh Premier League because obviously funds, it's a lot of expense here because obviously you're travelling back and forth to North Wales. Then you need the better players. Better players always want more money, and that's not about really. So for us, really it's to get young players from Abergavenny, bring them through, keep the club going, make them feel part of it, make the players probably emulate myself really to stay here 40 odd years. If you could do that and bring more of these players to take ownership of the club, that would be great.
Phil, mate, best of luck for the rest of the game and the rest of the season. And thanks very much for talking to us. So Phil Hemmings then from Abergavenny Town. Now, Phil's he's like part of the furniture here. He's been part of the club for 40 odd years. I've been to a club called Mumbles Rangers, which was pretty much built by one man and has developed and become something so much bigger. Let's go and find out more about Mumbles Rangers.
When you think of this club, Billy John started it in 1950, and I don't know the history of him. He was a boy who caught polio and was confined to a wheelchair when he was about the age of 10, and he was in a wheelchair the rest of his life, but he loved football so much that he started the club off, started the teams off in 1950. Billy's attitude towards life was everybody, the boys all being together. That was the main thing. It was football, but football kept all the boys together. We had ups and downs. We were a very good side in the top division in the area in Billy's day. The club went on from then, and it's grown from then. It's grown and it's grown. And you can see now, I mean, the number of teams playing in this club, it only goes to show how popular football is, especially with the kids. We won the title not so long ago in Cardiff of being the biggest amateur football club in Wales, and I think we're also the biggest amateur football club in Britain. 33 teams. Most of our players are from the area or within a 2-mile radius, but people want to come and play for us now and belong to us because they know we're such a well-run club. The only problem is we haven't got the facilities to go with it. But he would have loved this. He would have absolutely loved this, the size of the club. Tremendous man.
People want to come, parents want to bring their children to play because they think that it's, I hope they think, that it's properly done. I mean, every team has 3 coaches. And we do try to improve the club in any way we can.
How long have you been playing for Mumbles?
About 2 years. 6 years.
6 years. So you started where these guys are behind us right now then? You started down just dribbling around cones and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
Beth, I understand that you are now, are you an international?
Yeah, Wales, under 15s.
And when would you call up?
Well, this year it started, so January I was called up for my first international. We played against Scotland and we lost 3-1, but...
Sorry about that. Sorry to hear that.
I'd say this is one of the best areas for football in Swansea. The thing I'm disappointed with over the years is because of council cutbacks and spending, they've cut back on maintenance. The money's not there to sort of put into improving the playing surface, etc. I mean, you look here today, you've got sort of puddles in the goal mouths and depressions in the areas, and that's due to lack of money being available to improve the surfaces. But no, it's a fantastic setting. Mumbles deserve something more appropriate, a focus more on a whole community setup, and that's what we're looking at, which is why we're part of the Go Underhill, is to try and raise funds to build something.
Unfortunately, in a way, Mumbles Rangers play in a public park. One of the reasons that we formed the charity was able to protect Underhill Park for future generations of users. As you see when you look around, the actual facilities, the infrastructure here are woefully inadequate, and that's the vision we have, is to provide somewhere that the local users, local team users for the rugby, for the football, can have somewhere which is fit for purpose, and that they can be proud of, to invite other teams to come down and play against them. The vision of the council has several options to be able to move this forward. And one of them is to be able to lease the ground to a local charity, which is what we set up. And by doing that, as I said, we protect the actual resources for future generations. But then we can enable us to look for grants outside of the city council, outside for the city, to be able to deliver the vision of renewed changing rooms all over the pitch, and a community facility which can bring all of the users together in a social environment that would hopefully build a community.
What is it about Mumbles Rangers then? What's the club mean to you? What's it like playing here?
Everyone's really nice. We get along really well, and we play really well as a team. And I just really enjoy playing for them.
It's like one big family, basically. It's like all the coaches go for meals and stuff, and we know some of the kids that play for the younger teams and the older teams, so we all get to know each other.
Milk ain't the only thing, she snatched out here. Everybody who knows where you've been. The big
Catering manager, that's probably the most important thing at the club, right?
I don't know if that's right, mind.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yes. So what else?
You've got to give them tea. The guys need their teas.
And
it provides money for the club.
I went on a training on a catering course to be able to cook food for the spectators, and we have to make sure the premises are kept up to standard and fill in all the books, that the equipment is checked every week.
So there's a lot to it.
That's what we got.
It's
supposed to be doing. Well, I do most of it.
How difficult is it? I mean, to get volunteers in and people to sort of help out. And
it's mainly I know that his partners' wives come and support it, even with the functions. But majority of the members here are volunteers, and I think they work really hard.
Well, it's the backbone of the club, right? And do you think the lads appreciate it, the players?
I think so. They support the club very well, and they are very pleased and supportive of the club members.
Lots of them are local lads as well.
They're a lot of them are lot of them are local lads. They're very keen and supportive.
Brilliant stuff. Well, listen, we better let you get back to work. But if you've been listening throughout, and there's been the odd beep in the background, by the way, this is my favourite story here. In fact, right on cue, there it is. It's a burglar alarm. Nobody knows how to stop the beeping. It's beeped for years, apparently, which is wonderful. Anyway, so final part of the show. We thought we'd pay homage to one of Wales' favourite sons, and in fact, somebody probably you'd like to have as your son, Ben Davies, Mr. Ben Davies, West Wales legend.
What do you think of when you think of, and I'm assuming it happens a lot, Ben Davies?
Oh my God, don't even get me started on Ben Davies. She's basically... He's the son I never had.
I want you to reach deep inside and tell me what Ben Davies means to you.
Welsh-speaking left-back, major talent. What else is there to say?
Ben Davies. What does Ben Davies mean to you?
I think he's an absolute diamond in the back. Probably one of our better defenders, probably our best defender.
Game in the Euros against Slovakia, he intercepted that goal-scoring chance for Slovakia. That could have gone the other way. but he knew he had to be there, and he did this.
Perfect left back material.
Rate him?
If you've watched him for Tottenham this year, you've got to rate him. He's on fire. He's done fantastic for us in club level at the minute, as you see, and he's scoring some goals there as well, and he's doing well for us.
Best left back in the Premier League?
He means a lot. I mean, he's defensive, he's very good tactically as well. That's what I like about him, really. You can always rely on him defensively.
I remember him when he was a child or a kid playing for Swansea, and I think Michael Aldrop gave him the chance there, the opportunity. He saw he was a class player, and I think within a year, 2 years, he was snapped up by Tottenham.
Danish education as well, isn't he? So he, mate. He grew up in Denmark. But for me, he had to be patient at Spurs. But now I think he's coming into his own. I think he's absolutely quality.
You say he was unsung, but I mean, we were talking about our best 11 maybe since like the 80s, and for like left back, who's been
slightly better than Dan Bernard.
Welsh player. He's a left centre half.
Gabadon.
I'd still take Gabadon. Left side of centre back. Okay.
Sort of thrust himself into that first team and made himself more prominent in the Wales squad as a whole, because now you've got the option of playing with a back four and a genuine fullback who will always get forward and is good at getting forward. His goal on the weekend against Huddersfield, that's a striker's goal. It's a striker's finish. It's a left back.
He's a great player now. He's scoring goals, he's attacking, he's defending. You just can't fault the guy. He's brilliant, awesome.
Better than Ian Botham at cricket.
Well, as a person, though, what do you think of him as a guy? And he's in the media. He seems very approachable.
I think he's down to earth, level-headed, like most of the Welsh players.
He's amazing, isn't he? He just looks like a really nice guy, nice boy, lovely boy. Son I never had.
He does his talking on the pitch, doesn't he? He doesn't go he's not in the public eye. He's quite low key,
like a Scholesy kind of guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a proper professional.
Yeah,
to me, he
loves the game, dedicated.
He's worked really hard to get in that Spurs team. Really, really hard.
He plays well for Wales. He loves the passion of Wales and loves wearing the red of Wales shirt.
I think he's a cracking player as well, which is definitely. There was some school of thought that he should have been the Player of the Year. Yeah,
He was my vote for Player of the Year.
No, he's a cricketer. Yeah.
My mum thinks he'd make the perfect son-in-law. Is that fair to say?
He's out of the press, isn't he? He doesn't speak a lot.
I wouldn't marry him, no, but I watch him play football.
I can't think of anything else other than Neela's.
How you top that?
Well, you can. I just look extremely creepy now, but thanks.
Well, you said it.
Yeah, it was tense, but it's what we expected. Even though they're sort of just below mid-table, we knew they've got some good footballers in their team and they were going to come at us and hurt us. They changed their formation sort of halfway through the first half and give us a good game. And I just think at the end of the 90 minutes, I think we just edged it. I think we deserved the win.
Second half performance by the boys, I thought they put a shift in, but we needed that performance in the first half as well, really. So a bit disappointed. We just can't seem to grind out a win now and again. We play some lovely football at times, but end up on the losing side.
We have had a real super season, considering last season we almost got relegated. To be in the top 5 at the moment with games in hand, and mathematically we can still finish in the top 3, so it's a fabulous achievement for the boys.
Well, at the beginning of the season we just wanted to achieve more points than we got last year, so we've achieved that. We did it a couple of games ago. We were hoping to finish in the top 6 if I'm honest with you, but I think that's out of our reach now. But got a great bunch of young boys here who will work hard, and the experience of this year in Welsh League 2 will only do them good, so next year then. I think there was a quote recently in the local press that said on their day, champions or challengers to be champions, but also can be relegation battlers. So we want to cut the relegation battlers out and give them a good go for the championship.
Oh man,
frenetic finish out. Frenetic. Balls being loaded into the box by Abergavenny as they chase that equaliser. Great game. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Fantastic, proper old school stuff. Really enjoyed it, and congratulations to Garden Village. That then wraps up this edition of FC Cymru. As ever, if you want to reach out and touch us, then all the social media details are across the bottom of the screen. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Cheers, guys.